Welcome, thank you. Let's get started right away on our mats. I have not started the music yet. Let's just focus on our breath and start to ground down in our space, yogis. So today, the series that I will be teaching is a split leg series. I usually leave time for an inversion, and I'll still give you a couple times or a couple minutes later on in class to practice something, but this series is actually working towards a splits or maybe a half splits. Wherever you're at, just know that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And that seems so cheesy and stupid, but with yoga, that's really, really what you're striving for, right? It's not about how hard you're going or how fast you're going. It's really about where you're going. So focus on this idea of reshaping how we think about growth here. Yogis, I like to suggest extended child's pose, but if there's a different pose that feels good to hang out in for a couple minutes, feel free to get into it. Start to limit your vision, limit your gaze, bring your forehead down onto the mat and focus on that breath. We'll unite that breath together here as a community. Exhale everything out of your lungs. Yogis, take a full inhale, fill up with air. An open mouth exhale, just let everything go. Gorgeous. Yogis, option to engage Ujjayi pranayama. That's an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the nose. This type of constricted or maybe audible breath helps build the heat in our bodies. This is the breath that we use for vinyasa flow here. Know that you can grab water, towel off, or use open mouth exhales at any point. I give you full permission to take everything I say as optional. You are truly your best teacher. You look like anyone else. Your practice is not going to including your own. That is why it's called a practice. Every day we show up on our mat, we are different. Let's do one more breath together here, yogis. Exhale everything out. Take a big inhale, fill up with air. And exhale, just let it go. Yogis, on your next inhale, shift forward to that tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. If you're following along with the music, I will count us down in that playlist here. So we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I will be playing it quietly on my end. If you have trouble hearing it, I can turn it up as well. But let's just do a few rounds of cat and cow together here, yogis. So inhale for cow pose, fill up with air, raise your gaze. Beautiful. Exhale, cat pose, tuck your tailbone, arch your back. Inhale, cow pose, fill up with air, expand through your rib cage. Exhale, cat pose, push your mat away from you, maybe even tent your fingertips. Beautiful, one more just like that. Inhale, cow pose, fill up. And exhale, cat pose, rather. Arch your back, bring your chin to chest. Beautiful, yogis. Slowly find that neutral tabletop position. We're gonna flow scorpion up dog to a child's pose. So scorpion up dog chest, scorpion legs. Press your hips forward. And then yogis, press back into your child's pose. Take a couple more rounds just like that on your own. Bring your heart, drag your heart forward. And then send your hips towards your heels. Yogi, scorpion legs, pull forward, bend your knees, bring your heels towards your glute, lift your heart, lift your gaze. With your exhale, push on back. Yogis, on your next inhale, slowly find that neutral tabletop position. Curl your toes under, and with an exhale, downward facing dog, press on back, hips come high, and then pedal it out. Walk your dog out this afternoon. So get into the back line of your body. Feel this as a stretch in your hamstrings, in your calves. Bend one knee deeply and then the other. Down dog, slowly find some stillness. Yogi, start to walk your hands back until you come to a ragdoll pose. So your knees can be bent any amount here, maybe even widen your stance. Ragdoll pose, let your head hang heavy, let your chest hang heavy. If you'd like to grab opposite elbows with opposite hands, you can do so. Or maybe interlace your fingers behind your head. Yogis, if you chose an arm variation, swap out your grip to find balance in your practice. Rock weight from your heels to your toes to feel the back line of your legs wake up. Shake your head yes and no, and then yes again, and unclench your jaw here. And then ragdoll, slowly find some stillness, release your palms down, toe heel your feet together, bend your knees deeply, and on a big inhale, slowly roll up to stand, one vertebra at a time. Let your head be the last thing to come up, and with an exhale, take some shoulder rolls. Yogis, this is Samastitihi, at attention or equal standing pose in yoga. You can stay here. Can bring your hands at heart center, whatever is authentic to you and your practice. But this is where we will set our intention for practice today. Yogis, if there is a theme or idea you have been working on, you can bring that to the forefront of your mind. With spring arriving here, I've really been focusing on an idea growth. So if nothing comes to mind, I offer that up as an idea. Relearning, learning to learn that ideas of growth always change, and stillness is just as much a part as movement in that idea of growth. We'll set our intention out with an open mouth exhale together, yogis. Exhale everything out to prepare. Take a full inhale, bring your intention to mind. And open mouth exhale, just let it go. Beautiful. You can open your eyes, bring your hands at your side if you haven't already, and we'll start our sun A flow. So inhale, mountain pose, rise up strong, continue to breathe. Yogis, ground down through the four corners of your feet, drop your shoulder blades a little wider, so out of your ears. And then yogis, take prayer at the top. Kind of hard to see, Abby's so tall, but prayer grip, palms together, thumbs hug each other. As you inhale, find some length. Exhale, take a half moon side bend towards the right. So reach through your fingertips. Yogis, you have time here. So every inhale should find length and every exhale should find depth. Bump your hips in the opposite direction. Press weight into your left foot. And on an inhale, slowly sweep back to center and let your exhale guide you. Half moon side bend, opposite side, reaching through your fingertips. Beautiful breath. On an inhale, slowly come back to center. Yogis, keep that grip and find a baby back bend here. So you can slowly gaze up. Looking up is a back bend. If you'd like to slowly track your gaze across the ceiling with control, keeping your biceps by your ears, and then slowly come back to center. Beautiful, yogis. Take a big inhale here. Release your hands and forward fold. So hinge from your hips, send everything down. Inhale, halfway lift, reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, high to low plank chaturanga. Plant your hands, step back, shift forward a couple inches, lower no more than halfway. Inhales for upward facing dog, lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips come high. Beautiful. That chaturanga, the high to low plank, I'll cue it every time, but it is always optional. You can take it from your knees if you're working on that shoulder strength, or for core strength, just hold high plank. I hold high plank all the time. Just really listen to your body and make any of those adjustments as you feel necessary today. We'll flow that sun A breath to movement 2 more times. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, travel to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, send it down. Inhale, mountain pose, root to rise, and find that prayer grip or steeple grip at the top. Take an inhale to prepare you. Exhale, gentle side bend towards the right. Yogis, on an inhale, come back to center. Exhale, side bend, left side, keep your chest square. Inhale, mountain pose, keep your prayer grip. Exhale, baby back bend, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Inhale, slowly come back to center. Exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips, send everything down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, high to low plank chaturanga. Plant your hands, step back, keep your elbows in as you lower. Inhale for upward facing dog, press into the tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog, push on back. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, one long line of energy. Inhale, mountain pose, rise up strong, find that prayer grip or steeple grip. Have an inhale to find your length. Exhale to find depth, half moon towards the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, half moon, opposite side. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend with that prayer grip. Squeeze your glutes to protect your low back. Send your hips forward and track back with an inhale. With your exhale, forward fold, hinge from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, square your chest to the mat. Exhale, high to low plank, chaturanga. Your chaturanga is of choice here. Inhales for upward facing dog. Exhales, downward facing dog. Yogis, take a full inhale here. Full exhale, just let it go. Beautiful, let's do one more together. Big breath in and big breath out. All right, we're moving into our Sun B slow. This is a mandala sequence, so you'll be going in one direction and then we'll do it in the other. Yogis, on your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward, send it down. Beautiful. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, send weight into your heels. Continue to breathe. Arms rise above, shoulders out of your ears. Send weight into your heels, so sit your seat back and low. Take an inhale here. Exhale, airplane arms, sweep back with control, palms face down. Yogis, inhale, one-legged mountain pose. Stand on your right leg. Bring your left knee towards hip height here. Work on squaring out your pelvis. Inhales to prepare you. Exhale, airplane pose. Hinge from your hips. Sweep back with control, palms face down. Inhale, crescent lunge, land softly on your toes. Rise up and take a moment to set this up. You can always widen your stance. So crescent lunge, feet are in two separate lanes. Lift your back heel to track it over your toes and your front knee over your front ankle. Inhale here. Exhale, warrior two. Pivot that back foot down. Sweep open with control. Beautiful. Take a moment to set this up, yogi. So your shoulders are over your hips. Push your knees to the pinky toes of your feet here. So straight, strong shin in the front. Inhale, reverse warrior. Lift through your side body. Reach towards the ceiling. Exhale, low lunge. Cartwheel down. Plant your hands to either side of your foot. Yogis, inhale fully. Exhale for Skandasana. So pivot on that front foot. Open towards the right. You can keep your fingertips on the ground. You can work on your balance by bringing your hands to heart center. Opposite leg can be point or flex, but you're balancing on that right foot, lengthening that left leg here. Take a big inhale to prepare you. Exhale, yogi squat to the middle. So toe heel your feet towards the center. Readjust your stance. Ground down through the four corners of your feet. Yogis, you can sit on a block or maybe a pillow if that feels right. Lift your heart towards those thumbs. You can press your elbows into your knee. Inhale fully here. Exhale, Skandasana towards the right. So extend that right leg long. You're balancing on left foot. Straighten through the crown of your head. Lift your heart, lift gaze. Remember to breathe. Take a full inhale here. Exhale, low lunge to the back. So pivot on that foot. Plant your hands. Inhale, three-legged dog. Lift that left leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feet come together. Yogis, take a big inhale here. Exhale, let it go. On an inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step or guide your foot between your hands. Inhale, easy open twist. Keep your left palm to the mat. Reach your right arm open here. Open up that right shoulder. Beautiful. Take a full inhale here. Stay for your exhale. Yogis, on your next inhale, find that crescent with a twist. Rise up with your core. Keep that open arm twist almost like we were in a crescent lunge with that open arm twist. So shoulders are pointing towards the right potentially. Squeeze those inner thighs together to find stability here. Inhale here. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, crescent lunge, sweep forward, readjust your pelvis and stance facing towards the back now. Big inhale, big exhale. Beautiful, take a full inhale to prepare you. Exhale, airplane arms, sweep back with control, palms face down. Inhale, star pose, big pivot here. So wind open towards the opposite side. Reach through your fingertips, find space here. Feel strong and stable in this stance. Yogis, start to pivot your toes in the same direction. We're gonna take a wide-legged forward fold here. So inhale to prepare, puff up your chest. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold, hinge from your hips and dive down. You're here for a couple breaths, so movement or stillness. Remember, this is all preparing us to open up our hips potentially for the splits later. Beautiful, yogis. Slowly, wherever you're at, come back to center. On an inhale, find a halfway lift. Just reach through the crown of your head. And exhale, low lunge to the front. Pivot and frame that front foot. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left leg reaches high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feet come together. Yogis, take a big inhale here. Exhale, let it go. Beautiful. Other side, inhale forward. Exhale, forward fold, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, reach to the crown of your head. Exhale, forward fold, send it down. Inhale, chair pose, sit low, rise up, and continue to breathe. Yogis, engage your core to protect that sway in your low back. Track your knees over your ankles by sending weight into your heels. Inhale here. Exhale, airplane arms, palms face down, feel your triceps. Inhale, one-legged mountain pose, stand on your left leg. Bring your right knee towards hip height. Find your balance and control here. Take a full inhale. Exhale, airplane, hinge from your hips. Sweep with control that heel towards the sky. Continue to breathe. Inhale, crescent lunge. Land softly on your toes and rise up. Beautiful control, Abby. Yes, take a moment to set this side up. Give each side equal attention and energy. So feel this as a stretch in that right hip, but make sure your lunge is long enough to really feel that as a stretch. Inhale fully. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, warrior two, pivot your back foot down, wind open towards the right. Again, front knee over front ankle, but both feet are actively engaged. Push through the nice edge of that back foot. Inhale, reverse warrior, lift through your side body towards the ceiling. Exhale, low lunge, cartwheel down, frame your front foot. Inhale to prepare you. Exhale, skandasana on this side, so pivot on that left foot. Open up again, second set, finding your balance and using your breath. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, yogi squat towards the middle, toe heel your feet together. Come towards the center of your mat. Yogis, ground down through the four corners of your feet. Beautiful. Feel this as a hip opener here. Take a big inhale wherever you're at. Exhale, skandasana towards the back. Start to lunge towards the back of your mat here. Adjust your stance and find your balance here. Take a full inhale. Exhale, low lunge to the back, pivot on that foot, frame that foot. Beautiful. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach your right leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog, feet come together. Yogis, take a full inhale here. Full exhale, send it out. Beautiful. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step or guide your foot between your hands. Inhale, easy open twist, reach that right arm high, or left arm high rather, ground through your right palm, straight strong standing leg, so hug up on that kneecap. On an inhale, rise up to that crescent lunge with that open arm twist with control. Squeeze your inner thighs together to find stability. Reaching through your fingertips, both arms are engaged. Take a full inhale. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, crescent lunge, sweep that left arm forward, pivot those hips to face the back of your mat. Inhale fully. Exhale, airplane arms, palms face down. Inhale, star pose, pivot that back foot down, wind open, big movement here. Find space, ground down through all four corners of each foot here. Take a big inhale here. pivot your toes in, and exhale, wide-legged forward fold, second set, hinge from your hips, send it on down. Beautiful, yogis. Couple breaths here, movement or stillness, maybe bend one knee and then the other. Whenever you're ready, slowly find your way back to the center. On an inhale, halfway lift, reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, low lunge to the front, pivot on that right foot. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach that right leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog, feet come together. Yogis, take a full inhale and full exhale. Yogis, that was our sun B slow. We will now do a sun B flow. So flow that breath to movement, but it is your breath, it is your movement. So find whatever cadence works for you and challenges you, and give yourself that grace that we need for that growth. So on your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, send it down. Inhale, chair pose, rise up with control. Exhale, airplane arms, sweep back. Inhale, one-legged mountain, stand on that right leg, bring left knee high. Exhale, airplane, just passing through. Inhale, crescent lunge, land softly, right up. Exhale, warrior two, pivot that back foot open. Inhale, reverse, lift through your side body. Exhale, low lunge, cartwheel down. Inhale fully. Exhale, skandasana, just passing through here. Inhale fully. And exhale, yogi squat, come to the center. Inhale here. Exhale to execute skandasana towards the back. Take a big inhale to prepare you. Exhale, low lunge towards the back, pivot on your foot. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog, feet come together. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step or guide your foot between your hands. Inhale, easy open twist, right arm reaches high. Exhale, rise up with control, crescent lunge with that open twist. Inhale, sweep to your crescent lunge, pivot your chest towards the front. Exhale, airplane arms to prepare you, sweep back. Inhale, star pose, wind open, find length. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold, wind down. Inhale, halfway lift, use your core to lift your heart. Exhale, low lunge towards the front. Inhale, three-legged dog, lift that left leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog, feet come together. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. Opposite side, inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, send it down. Inhale, chair pose, rise up with control, find your grace. Exhale, airplane arms, sweep back. Inhale, one-legged mountain, stand on that left leg. Exhale, airplane, just passing through, hinge from your hips. Inhale, crescent lunge, land softly, then rise up. Exhale, warrior two, pivot that back foot down, wind open. Inhale, reverse, reach towards the ceiling. Exhale, low lunge, cartwheel down, frame that foot. Inhale to prepare you. Exhale, skandasana, pivot on your foot, yogis, breath to movement, find that grace. Take a full inhale here. Exhale, yogi squat, come towards the center. Take another big inhale here. Exhale, skandasana towards the back. Make your way to the back of your mat. Full inhale, catch your breath. Exhale, low lunge, pivot on that back foot. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach that right leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog, feet come together. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step or guide your foot between your hands. Inhale, easy open twist, left arm towards the ceiling. Exhale, crescent lunge with that easy twist, rise up, use your core. Inhale, crescent lunge, sweep back, frame your chest. Exhale, airplane arms, keep your legs. Inhale, star pose, find space, wind open. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, low lunge, pivot towards the front. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach your right leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog, feet come together. Yogis, take a big inhale here. Big exhale, let it go. On your next inhale, look forward. Step through and come and have a seat. How's everyone feeling? It can feel very fast. I promise you, once you feel the flow, maybe next week, or maybe during that second set, that flow set, it can feel very meditative, almost like dancing, once you become in tune with your body and your breath here. But yeah, great job, everyone. Let me know what you think of it in the comments or after class as well. I'm always looking for suggestions on what to have in my sequences. This is the time where I like to add a little bit of core work. This is also the song, if you're following along, it's kind of like an 80s song. So let's just do a couple minutes of basic core. Give our limbs a little bit of a break, build that heat in our body. You can use open mouth exhales for core. We're doing a lot of twisting through the midline of our body, and that should be done with our abs. Let's start with just basic crunches here. So feet are by your seat. Find that basket grip behind your head. Elbows are wide out of your vision. Basic crunches. Here you go. It's a lift and lower, lift and lower. And you exhale as you lift. Yogis, wherever you're at, bring your nose and chest more towards the ceiling. Lift those shoulder blades off the mat. Use your upper abs. That's what's lifting you with control. We're using muscle, not momentum here. Just here for 4, just here for 3. Make it a pulse up in 2 and 1. So pulse it up, just make it small and controlled. Yogis, unclench your jaw wherever you're at. You got this. Just there for 4, just there for 3. Take a long body stretch in 2 and 1. Long body stretch here. Fingers long, toes long. Beautiful, yogis. We have to get our lower abs. Most things with our legs will work our lower abs. Today we're gonna do a lowering leg lift. So whenever you're ready, meet me with your legs up the wall. Your knees can be bent, but flex your feet this time. Bring your toes towards your face. It's gonna be a lower for 3, 2, 1. And you'll lift 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, lower, 3, 2, 1. You got this, lift, 3, 2, 1. Lower, 3, 2, 1. And lift, 3, 2, 1. Last time, lower, 3, 2, 1. And lift, make them bicycle twists, 2, 1. So it's right, center, and left, center. So option to make this a 3-part movement. You can go as fast or as slow as you'd like, but sometimes going slower is even harder. Use your breath. Exhale as you twist. Just there for 4. Just there 3. Take a long body stretch in 2 and 1. Beautiful commitment, guys. Take a long body stretch, some full inhales and exhales to stretch out your core, your midline. And yogis, whenever you're ready, grab behind your knees. Rock and roll the length of your spine. Come through a neutral tabletop position. Take a couple cat and cows to really stretch out your core. Maybe grab water and towel off. We're moving into a prayer twist and revolved crescent lunge series. So as we're twisting, we should really think about using our core to turn our bodies and then setting our limbs wherever they land. Tune into whatever breath you've been using for your vinyasa flow here. That sounded very Minnesotan, your vinyasa flow. And yeah, release any expectation of how it should have looked or where you're heading. This is yoga. You are not your yoga practice. There is no yoga competition here. And then yogis, slowly start to make your way back to your down dog. So tuck your toes, send your hips high, and let's unite that breath together here. Exhale everything out of your lungs. Take a big inhale, fill up with air. Exhale, just let it all go. Beautiful. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, send weight into your heels. With your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Yogis, inhale, shift forward slightly. Exhale, prayer twist towards the right. So twist with your core and then set your elbow down. It can be between your knees if you'd like to take a wider stance. Peek down at your knees. Are they in line with one another? If not, send your right hip more forward in space. Send your seat low. Yogis, you're just here for 3. That revolved crescent lunge is your release in 2. So start to rock weight into the right side of your body. And 1, revolved crescent lunge. Reach that left leg back with control. Land softly. Yogis, option to readjust your stance or your hands at any point here. Bring your heart towards your thumbs. Your head is above your heart and your heart is above your hips. You are just here for 3. Runner's lunge is your release in 2. And 1, runner's lunge. Slowly plant your hands towards the inside of that foot. You can come on down to your knee or your forearms. We're here for a few breaths. So movement or stillness, really feel it out. Listen to what your body needs on this side. Yogis, if you've come on down to your forearms with an inhale, push back up to your palms. With your exhale, re-engage that back leg and find a high plank position. So sweep right leg back. Take a full inhale, start to rock weight to the left side of your body. As you exhale, find a side plank. Bump your hips up towards the ceiling. You can come on down to your knee or float your top leg, but just remember to breathe. That's the only thing you have to do for 3. High plank is your release in 2. And 1, exhale to a high plank. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips high. Yogis, take a big breath in. Big breath out. Opposite side, inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, send it down. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, sit low, beautiful. Exhale, bring your hands towards heart center, prayer hands. Inhale, shift forward slightly. Exhale, prayer twist towards the opposite side. Twist with your core. Remember to breathe, yogis. Weight is in your heels and head is above your heart. Take a peek down at your knees. Are they in line with one another? And remember to breathe. You're just here for 3. That revolved crescent lunge is your release in 2. And 1, yogi. So slowly rock weight into the left side of your body. Lift your right heel. Land softly on your toes. You can readjust your stance. Work on keeping your thumbs towards your heart. Lift your gaze. Twist with your ribs and your core. You're just here for 3. Runner's lunge is your release in 2. And 1, runner's lunge. Gently plant your hands. You can come on down to that knee or forearms. Stillness or movement. Really feel it, what it needs on the side of your body today. Yogis, if you came on down to your forearms with an inhale, push back up to your palm. With your exhale, re-engage that back leg and sweep your other leg back to find a high plank position, but then zip those legs together. Slowly start rocking weight to the right side of your body as you inhale. With your exhale, side plank, continue to breathe. Arms come to a T. Stack your joints, stack your hips. Remember to breathe. You can come on down to your knee or float your top leg, but you are just here for 3. You got this. High plank is your release in 2. And 1, act to that high plank. Take a big inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push on back. Beautiful, yogis. Inhale fully and exhale deeply. Beautiful. On your next inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Step or guide your foot between your hands. Inhale, warrior 2. Pivot your back foot down. Wind open right away. Beautiful. Yes, Abby. Take a moment to set this up so shoulders are over hips, arms are engaged. Inhale to prepare you. Exhale, extended side angle, reach forward, and then tick-tock your arms, lifting with your core. You can use your forearm on your knee for support and stability. Beautiful breath. On your next inhale, stop, straighten your front leg, rise up with control. Take a moment to pivot your toes in towards the same direction. We're gonna flow star to horse a couple times here. So as you inhale to prepare, exhale, horse or goddess pose. Send your seat low, open up your knees and your hips. Beautiful. One more just like that. Inhale, star pose, rise. And exhale, horse or goddess, deepen. And yogis, if you'd like to take those little shoulder dips here to prepare you for some splits, it might feel like a good thigh or hip stretch here. Beautiful. On your next inhale, star pose, rise up, straighten both legs. And with your exhale, pyramid pose. So walk in that back foot slightly, pivot towards the front, and find that prayer grip at the top here. With pyramid pose, when you hinge from your hips, keep your biceps by your ears and engage your core to protect that back. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Keep that left hip forward in space. Yogis, your knees can be bent any amount. You can adjust your stance at any time. This is not a fixed movement. Bring your forehead towards your knees. Beautiful, yogis. Once you find the bottom, release your fingertips towards the mat. You are just here for 3. You're launching into your standing splits in 2 and 1 standing split. So launch off that back foot, almost like an L shape in the air. You can walk your toes or fingertips slightly more towards your toes. Just remember to breathe. Unclench your jaw. You're just there for 3. Yogis, land in a low lunge in 2 and 1. Exhale, find that low lunge. Inhale, high plank position, sweep that leg back. And exhale, downward facing dog, hips come high. Yogis, take a big breath in. Big breath, send it out. Opposite side, inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step or guide your foot between your hands. Inhale, warrior 2, pivot that back foot down and wind open with control. Take a moment to set this up. Pivot your hips in the same direction as your back toes are pointing. Inhales to prepare you. Exhale, extended side angle, reach, reach, reach forward, and then tick-tock your arms. And again, if you'd like to use your forearm on your knee for stability and support, you can definitely do so. Beautiful, extended side angles. On your next inhale, star pose, straighten that front leg, pivot your toes, launch up. We'll flow that star to horse a couple times here again. So inhale fully to prepare. Exhale, horse or goddess pose, sit low, send your knees to the pinky toes of your feet. One more just like that. Inhale, star pose, rise. Exhale, horse pose, sit low. And on this side, if you would like to find those hip dips again, that might feel good to push your knees a little bit outward. Movement or stillness, it's totally your call. This is your practice. Yogis, find a little bit of stillness here. On your next inhale, star pose, straighten up and rise. And exhale, pyramid pose. So pivot towards the front, walk in that back foot any amount, adjust your stance, work on squaring your pelvis towards the front of your mat and find that prayer grip above here. Take a full inhale to prepare you. And exhale, ride your breath all the way down. Send your right hip forward, right hip forward. Yogis, once you find the bottom, if you'd like to release your fingertips, you can do so. But this is a position of surrender, so release how you think it should look. You are just here for 3. You're launching off into your standing splits in 2. And 1, launch into standing splits. Find your balance, find your control. Beautiful, yogis. You're just there for 3. Land in your low lunge in 2. And 1, land softly on your toes, find that low lunge. Inhale to a high plank And exhale, downward facing dog, hips come high. Yogis, take a full inhale here. Full exhale, let it go. Your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, step through, come and have a seat. How's everyone feeling? A lot of launching, a lot of space made today, so that's good. It's kind of all about that growth, right? So this is our time that we have a couple minutes for a practice, whether it's an inversion practice or a splits practice. An inversion is anytime your head is below your heart. If you have a specific one that you'd like to maybe include in your practice, this is your time to do so. If you don't have space or inversions are not your thing, we've been working a lot of leg stuff to get us towards the split. If you have a block or a pillow, or when you are in the studio next, feel free to use one. These are great props to use for a splits practice. I can't do the full splits. You'll probably have one leg that works a little better than the other to send forward, but I encourage you to try both sides just to kind of find that balance. Yes, I'm like right leg forward. And the great thing about the blocks are they just the floor closer to you, right? So you can use them on your hands. They have 3 different heights. You can sit up higher. You can do your half splits if you want to send your seat towards your heels here. There's a different stretch that feels good. Maybe you're working towards your middle splits here. If you have a pillow, send that underneath your seat. It's kind of just a play around time for us to have a little bit of fun. And if this isn't your thing, or if you're done playing around, we'll eventually meet in child's pose, either traditional or extended. So you have about 40 seconds here, and that is where we'll meet. You can do whatever you want. All right, yogis, slowly start making your way back onto your mat. Traditional child's pose is arms at your side, knees together. Extended child's might feel good for your hips, so knees wide, reaching out in front of you. And wherever you're at, just tune into your breath. A lot of these isometric holds heighten our heart rate. We tend to hold our breath here, and we tend to really criticize ourselves for not being able to do something that's just inherently hard. Everyone's skeletal body looks different. This isn't accessible for everyone. Just because you can't do something now doesn't mean you won't ever be able to do it. And just because it's maybe someone's priority or goal within their practice doesn't mean that it needs to be yours. So give yourself that grace and growth with this practice, knowing that it really is about the journey. If we knew everything, or if we could do everything right away, we wouldn't need to return to our mats every day. Let's unite our breath together as a community. Yogis, exhale everything out of your lungs. Take a big inhale, fill up with air. And let it go. Beautiful, yogis. We have one standing balancing posture and then one stretching last series before we get into our surrender series. On your next inhale, shift forward to a tabletop position. With that exhale, curl your toes under, send your hips high, downward facing dog, press on back. And an inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, forward fold, send it down. Inhale, mountain pose, rise up with control, yogis. We're gonna take dancer's pose, starting with the right side. It might feel good for your legs here. So almost find like you're holding a tray without changing the orientation of your hand. Capture the inside of your foot to make sure your arm is proper. Make sure you can bring your elbow in like that. Beautiful. A big inhale, fill up with air. Exhale, dancers, kick into your palms, stretch through your shoulder and your heart and hinge from your hips, yogis. You have time to find your edge. Find your drishti, this gaze, this unmoving focal point. Yogis, you're just here for 3. Come back to your mountain pose in 2. And 1, you can release your leg down, square your hips. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, dancers on the opposite side. So with this open face palm, capture your foot. Bring your knee back together. Take a full inhale, lengthen through your side body. And exhale, dancer's pose. Kick into that palm, yogis. Find that wine glass or teardrop shape. Beautiful, yes. Remember to breathe. You're opening up your heart and the back line of your body. You're just there for 3. Mountain pose is your release in 2. And 1, slowly come back to center with control. Beautiful. Take a full inhale here. Exhale, forward fold, send it down. Last Sunday of class. Inhale, halfway lift, reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, high to low plank, chaturanga. Last one of class if you would like to take it. Inhales, upward facing dog. Exhales, downward facing dog. Beautiful, yogis. Take a big inhale here. Big exhale, let it go. Your next inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step or guide your foot between your hands. Yogis, we're gonna take horizon lunge here. So you're gonna pivot to the edges of your front foot and your back foot. You're opening up that right knee here. Your arms can come to a T, or maybe if you wanna press into that knee, you should feel this as a stretch in your outer bent leg here. Take a full inhale. Exhale, bring your hands back to frame your front foot. Inhale, 3-legged dog, reach that right leg high. Exhale, bring your right knee to your left elbow, and then come through for fallen star or fallen warrior. So send your right leg long, arms come to a T, bump your hips up towards the ceiling, pivot to the edges of your front foot. You're 3-legged dogs, release into. And 1, plant that hand with control, reach that right leg high. And exhale, low lunge, still guide your foot between your hands. Inhale, crescent moon, come on down to that left knee, rise up with control. Yogis, tuck your tailbone under and then send your hips a little more forward. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, seated half split, send your seat back. Feel this as a stretch in that right hamstring. Bring your chest towards your knee. Yogis, on your next inhale, come back to your crescent moon, sweep back to center. Exhale, low lunge, plant your hands, re-engage that back leg. Inhale to a high plank and exhale all the way down onto your stomach. We're gonna take a spine strengthener with cobra pose, so palms underneath your shoulders. Inhale, cobra pose, and continue to breathe. Slight tuck of the chin just to engage lengthen your spine along. Little to no weight in your hands. Just remember to breathe. Take a full inhale here. Exhale, push back to down dog, either through a high plank or a tabletop position. You'll inhale fully and exhale deeply. We'll take all those stretches on the left side now. With an inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step or guide your foot between your hands. Preparing for horizon lunge, yogis. Pivot to the edges of your feet here. Opening up that knee, almost like twisting open like a scissors. Arms can come to a T, hips come high. Take a full inhale here. Exhale, low lunge. Frame that front foot again. Inhale, 3-legged dog, left leg sweeps high. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, stay through, come through for fallen warrior. So cross the line of your body, pivot to the opposite edges of your feet, bump your hips high. You're just here for 3. That 3-legged dog is your release in 2. And 1, plant your hand, take a big inhale here, reach your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step or guide your foot between your hands. Inhale, crescent moon lunge. Come on down to that right knee. Rise up with control, yogis. Tuck your tailbone here and then send your hips forward so shoulders are over hips. Inhales to prepare you. Exhale, seated half split. Send your hips back. Bring your heart towards your knee. Feel your stretch in that left hamstring. On your next inhale, slowly come back to your crescent moon lunge. With your exhale, low lunge, plant your hands, re-engage that back leg. Inhale, inhale, high plank, both feet towards the back, and exhale all the way down onto your mat. We'll take another round of Cobra Pose for your back. Inhale, Cobra Pose, lift your chest, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Press into the tops of your feet. Remember to breathe. These are your low back muscles lifting you up. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, push back to down dog, either through a high plank or a tabletop position. Yogis, inhale fully and exhale deeply. Beautiful. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, step through, come and have a seat. We'll take a seated forward fold here for our hips. Extend both feet out long in front of you. Know that your knees can be bent any amount, ground down through your sits bones. With an inhale, find some length. Exhale, hinge from your hips, find your depth. And once you find your edge, you can let your head drop. Beautiful, yogis. On your next inhale, slowly rise back up to center and let your exhale guide you all the way down onto your back, one vertebra at a time. Yogis, we're gonna take a seated or a supine half pigeon or supine figure four. So bend your knees, bring your right ankle over your left knee. If you'd like to interlace behind your thigh, you can do so and bring it towards your chest. Yogis, if you grabbed behind your thigh, release your leg and then release your bent leg towards the right side. So we'll take an easy spinal twist here, crossing the midline of your body. Let your feet drop. You can extend your arms long if that feels good for your shoulders. And yogis, slowly come back to center with control. Swap out your legs. Bring your other ankle over your other knee. If you'd like to interlace behind that thigh to bring it towards your chest, you can do so. And then yogis, release behind your thigh and then gently rock that bent leg towards the ground. Easy spinal twist here. This is a great option if supine spinal twist doesn't feel good for you. And slowly guide yourself back to center with control, yogis. Release your legs. Option here for a little bit of happy baby if that feels good for you. So bring both knees in towards your chest. Maybe kick into the soles of your feet to feel a hamstring stretch or rock from side to side to massage that low back. Any last stretches here, feel free to do so. And yogis, slowly find some stillness. Bring both knees into your chest, wrap around your shins, give yourself a big hug, fill up with air here, really fill up with air. Take a big full inhale here. And exhale, release, final Shavasana. Allow your body to enjoy this mindful stillness here. You earned it, you worked hard for it. This is just as much a part of this growth, this reflection. We'll be here for about a minute and I'll guide us out when it's time. Yogis, you can stay here as long as you'd like. This mindful stillness might be the only mindful stillness that some people get these days. If you'd like to continue with the rest of your Wednesday, start by deepening your breath. Unclench your jaw, soften the muscles in your face. Yogis, if you'd like, with an inhale, find one last long body stretch here. And let your exhale guide you to fetal asana, fetal position on either side of your body, using your bicep as a pillow. Fetal asana is symbolic of rebirth, but it is really the transition between our practice and our next practice. You get to choose what you take with you off your mat. I hope you are proud of the things that you carry, and I hope that what you carry is worth the space that it's taking up. Know that you can leave things that no longer serve you here on your mat, things that may be too heavy to carry. That's what our mats are for. Yogis, if you'd like, with an inhale, slowly push yourself up to a seated position. You can keep your eyes closed or soften, but just call to mind whatever intention you set at the beginning of class, maybe a person you dedicated your energy and time to, or maybe a theme you've been working on. If it was one of growth, reframing the way in which we think we know what that means, learning to learn, and learning that growth is just as much a part of stillness and reflection and rest as it is movement and productivity. Stop the glorification of busy. Yogis, if you'd like to bring your hands to heart center and your thumbs to your hearts for kindness in our actions, thumbs to our lips for kindness in our words, and thumbs to third eye center for kindness in our thoughts, most especially towards ourselves. Bowing forward, we seal in our practice today. Namaste.